Hello. So obviously I do a lot of content on how to increase the average order value so that you can invest in more advertising, reach more people, get more customers, all of this sort of stuff. One of the common complaints or feedback critiques that I get from people is that this is great when you're selling high ticket offers, info products, services, this kind of stuff. It's really good for coaches and consultants and agencies or course creators, but it doesn't work for software because software doesn't really have high ticket stuff. You buy the software, you pay a monthly fee, good. So how can you implement the same kind of system that we use with software? It still works. And it's all still based around the ACA model that I build. But in this one, I'm going to show you a software that's using a really good upsell funnel to get more cash in hand so they continue to grow their software more confidently, more predictably. And so here we go. So this comes from one of the members in Growth Models Plus. They mentioned this and they're like, hey, this is an interesting upsell that I found. And I wanted to go through this. So basically it's for Pabbly. If you've not heard of Pabbly, I wasn't familiar. But they're basically like Zapier, a Zapier alternative. They'll connect different tools together. If you're running something on Facebook ads and you want then those ads to link to HubSpot and there's no native HubSpot integration, which I believe that there is. But, you know, this is like the go-between that will link those two together. Personally, I'm a Zapier user. And having had a quick scan of everything, I think that this is aimed at taking people away from Zapier. So they're not really having to focus on the problem. They're focused on we're a better solution. And it's quite an interesting thing. So if we go through the sales page really quick, don't miss out, $249 for lifetime access, not monthly, not yearly, lifetime. Pay once, you're done. Easily connect multiple applications or make tasks with AI agents. So basically this hero section has got pretty much everything that you need. Talk about the offer, how much money, mentally I can figure out how much money I'm going to be saving because I pay Zapier this much money. I'll pay this much a year. This is lifetime. I'm going to make off like a bandit with this. Easily collect multiple applications. So what it is, connect your favorite application within minutes, say goodbye to manual work with AI agents, the buzzword of the year. We got the VSL, which I had a quick skim through. But it's basically, this is an odd VSL because I would prefer to have a demo of the tool in uses. Hey, look how simple this is. But it's this, I assume the founder, and he's going through and he's doing like a presentation more than anything else. It's him talking for this. He has a really cool presentation tool though. Watch this. I've never seen one where it's kind of like a green screen type thing. And with his pen. Watch this. Boom. That's cool. Anyway, then you've got a reminder of the key benefits of this. Get Pabbly Connect now. Boom. Good social proof here, 30 days. Yeah. One-time payment, lifetime access, 30 days. So good guarantees, good social proof, everything you need in the hero section. The only thing that, you know, I find a little odd and a little different to most software tools is this isn't a demo, it's a presentation. I wonder if a demo is showing you how quickly it is to set up a task. But then they're not really going on the angle of this is easier. They're going on the angle of this is a lot cheaper than Zapier. And you can see up here, they're even called Zapier out. Or Zapier. I call it Zapier. Zap stuff, man. Anyway, interesting. Here we go. Last bit, social proof. So usually with sales pages and SaaS pages, what I think works really well and what's worked really well for me in the past is to have that hero section to grab attention. Here they're grabbing attention by being like cheaper than Zapier. I like to cover how, what, why. How do you help? What is the thing? Why should I care? Here it's what is the thing? It's a tool to connect multiple applications. How's it going to help me automate tasks? Why should I care? Cheaper than Zapier. It's got everything that I need up there to me to be like, as a Zapier user, I'm hooked. It's calling out to me. It's great. Then usually I would go into a problem. Hey, this is a problem that you have. This is how much money it's costing you. This is how much time, whatever. And I would remind them of that. And then I would go into introducing the solution. But here they come straight into it. And it's like, nah, I'm just going to hit you, going to value stack this bad boy. Check out, we got 21,000 people in our community. Save all of this. Look how cool our like demo videos are. And this is what I was looking for at the top is like a demo video.
In this video, we are going to see how.
So I imagine that these are, man, what is this tool that they're writing on? It's so cool. But yeah, this is just a step by, see, this is what I was thinking would be towards the top, a demo of how easy this is to use. But like I said, they're going with the cheaper angle. So it's just build it as like why this can be cheaper. I haven't watched this VSL. If this is him explaining why it's cheaper and how he can offer this for cheaper, cool. That's wicked. Yeah, these demo videos, I want to see these. I imagine that these are some of their most used ones because putting the use cases out like, this is what I'm coming here for. Oh, look, they've got a video. It does exactly what I need it to. Perfect. We're in. How does it work? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Very simple explanation. There's been nothing about the problem here. It's just, this is what we do. This is it being used. This is how it can work. Powerful AI with no code. Again, really simple. It's just more about how it can be used, what we can connect. And it's really cool. It's like very directive. Just check out how cool our tool is, which I like. Automating work with AI. Again, AI, the buzzwords, get Pabbly Connect. Lots of CTAs throughout, which is fine. Okay, so that's interesting because you put filters and things on Zapier and it counts towards your usage, which can really eat it up because it can turn one action into like 3 or 4. Cool. And this is what I was looking at. So I thought that this would have been highlight the problem, hey, but they're going through it in different stages. It must be working for them. I would have thought that they would have called out like, hey, you're using Make or Zaps and you do this and this is what's going to happen. And we do it much cheaper. You're paying too much money would be the problem, but they've buried it a little further down, which obviously it's working for them. Schedule, yeah, cool. Use cases, 2,000 applications. The all integrations, nice. That'll go through to a page, which will then go through to a pay now. See what you can search from, but on this page, I imagine there's also, you still got the CTO up here. There you go. Start not free yet. So everything leads back to that payment page. Video tutorials, 11,000 of them. My God, that's a lot. It says these people doing these videos must be so tired of doing them at this point. It can replace Zapier and Integromat in my flows. Highly recommend. Yeah. All right, cool. So there we got the pricing. Well, what, 2/3 of the way down the page? Roughly between halfway and 2/3. 3 different things. A typical SaaS. 3 pricing. Good, better, best type thing. The value stack. Always be careful with the value stack. Sometimes it feels a little too good to be true. I feel like this is a little too good to be true. $28,000 worth of value for $249. I'm questioning that. Yeah, cool. Money back guarantee. Good pricing area. You got this is what you pay. This is what you will get. Value stack that, make it look like the deal of the century. Money back guarantee, remove that risk. All good. Before and after. So this I would have thought again would have been higher up if I was doing it. These guys, I would assume that they've tested it and it's worked well. Before and after, so you're paying this much, you could be paying this much. You get the same stuff and actually more for less than half the price, which is cool. All right, so yeah, going after bigger players too. Some social proof down here, cool. And the FAQs, cool. I think it's a pretty decent page. It's not the way I would have written it, but I feel like I think they're taking a slightly different angle to most SaaS companies. And I think it probably works quite well for them. Now, this is the interesting part for me, though. This is what I really wanted to focus on, is this funnel now, because bump offers, upsells, all of this work really well when you're selling products, digital products, service-based products, all of this. For software, do you want to be at $249, $499, or $699, right? That's it. That's your money, right? And once you've paid that, you're then paying that per month, per year, whatever it might be. In this case, lifetime, it's a one-time deal. So how are they going to increase the average order value? The common method with a lot of software brands is to understand, right? Let's actually extend that to there. Right, this is today when somebody signs up. This is 1 year. And this is the average length of their lifetime with the business. So let's just say that this is 8 months. And that's not 8 months. 8 months would be about here, but you get the point. So what they'll do is they'll say, and let's keep the numbers nice around it. This is $10 a month for this software. Now, you can get a year by only paying for 10 months, because if you want to pay for the year, it's $100 a year. And they're doing that to make you feel like, oh, if I pay up front, I can save myself two months worth of money. Great. The smart SaaS companies out there realize, look, if the average length of the lifetime is 8 months before people churn out, we should offer the yearly at that number there. Now, what's going to happen is anybody who was going to pay for the yearly is going to pay for this anyway, because they're like, you know what, I was going to pay for the year anyway. But what will happen is all of the people who may have churned before that 8 months, you're going to get a far greater percentage of these people coming through. So you're going to have a lower average order value per customer, but overall a higher transaction volume coming in. So you're actually going to make more money because what a great deal. I'm going to save 4 months. So that's what a lot of people tend to do to try and cover those costs as much as possible. Now, I don't know the economics behind what these guys are doing, but they must have figured out that for $249, they can get people in. And they'll be worthwhile to that business, and they're still going to make a profit off this. I'm not sure how. Maybe once they're in the tool, there are other fees that they can add more tasks and all of this, and they must know that once somebody hits a certain task level or task usage that they'll want to upgrade. Typical kind of SaaS stuff, moving from one level to the next. But all of this is just a play for the kind of idea of cash in hand, right? Cash collected. Cash collected, cash today is better than potential cash tomorrow. If you can make $80 today, and maybe you make $60 over 6 months, obviously the $80 today is better. And weirdly, $80 today is better than maybe making $100 over 10 months. It's just cash in hand is better. Collect that cash. So most of the time, when I'm walking people through how to build their funnels, what they have is they have the front end offer. So that's the initial thing. Upsell 1, upsell 2. And this is really simple with the kind of digital products, all of this kind of stuff, because you sell a product 1 that solves a small problem. The bump offer is there to speed the results or help them get better results from the front end offer. You solve problem 1, that creates problem 2. The upsell 1 solves problem 2, and you can daisy chain these together indefinitely. I like to keep it to 2 upsells because I just find that's when, personally, that's what works for me. And you can add split pays and all of this in there as downsells if they say no. So how does this work with software? So again, it comes back to this whole idea of cash in hand. The upsell could simply be, why don't you just pay $80 now? You paid us $10. Why don't you just pay $80 now and get a full year, saving $40? People are like, oh, cool. So you can do that. These guys have got a kind of interesting approach. So 3,000 tasks every month, 249. There we go. Add another 7,000 tasks monthly. So up to 10,000 tasks for $450 more. So that would take it up to $700, which is, quite a bump. But let's see what it is. So this is 500. For just 200 more, 700. Okay, they're aiming to get $700. All of these does it all take you up to that 10,000, 4,000? So we have 6,004, so 10,000, 3,000 and 7,000, 10,000, although it says, 3,000. So all of them, they're trying to get you onto this higher tier thing. So the bump offer is, in this case, this is interesting. Bump offer to upgrade to the highest payment tier, which is really interesting. So get 10,000 tasks, and I imagine unlimited workflows. 4,000 additional. Okay, yeah, so it's just basically Pabbly Connect features. All Pabbly Connect features. Yeah, it's just moving you up to this tier. Okay, yeah, it's just moving you up to the top tier, which is interesting. So then this next page, what was it they said? No way to upgrade, which is apparently very true. And I always like that. Genuine scarcity is good. Fake scarcity can be a bit of a problem. Okay, and from looking at this, so standard, and then standard ultimate to ultimate plus is what they were saying. So standard to ultimate is the first upsell. So this is the first upsell page that they sent through. Nope, that's the sales page. Let's refresh this. Okay, so it's cookie-based, these timers, but I can still do it. So it's fake urgency there to grab the ultimate one-time plan by paying the difference amount of $450. So if you don't take ultimate, not only is the bump offer upgrade to the highest payment tier, upsell one, it's the same thing. So they're trying as hard as they can to get you on that $700 payment. That's what they're really trying to do. And then, so that was $700. Upgrade to Ultimate Plus. And I imagine if you've come through off one of these two, upsell one, and you've not taken it as the bump offer, upsell one is to go up to here. If you've come through from any of these two and taken the bump, so you're already on Ultimate, or you buy Ultimate, I imagine that they go Standard Ultimate to Ultimate Plus. An additional 10,000 tasks, so it doubles the usage. And that adds another $600. These upsell pages are, thanks for the payment, successfully purchased the standard one-time payment plan. Purchase the ultimate one-time payment plan. Last chance to upgrade. I would have put something here that would have called them out. Introduce one like, hey, if you're worried that you're going to hit your task limits, check this out. But it's just, hey, wait, last chance to upgrade. I don't like doing this at the top of upsell pages where it's like, hey, want to add this to your order, because people are already on the defensive. I like to do Eugene Schwartz 5 stages of awareness, introduce a new problem. Hey, there's a new solution. Here it is. Do you want it? The value. For $599 more, grab another 10,000 tasks to Pabbly Connect. So basically then what they've done is they've taken what could have been, they've got this all in here, and the upsell 2 is an additional $600, seriously. So essentially there's two different stages. They're trying to get from the front end bump and upsell 1, $700 potential order value. They're trying to collect as much of that as possible. And then over here, additional $600 potential order value. So we're looking at $1,300 here. And I'm sure that there must be something that once you're in the tool, they must be trying to do these upsells maybe periodically or something, the upgrades there. Or there must be something where they can really increase the value. But essentially what they've done is they've built the same kind of funnel that a lot of direct response marketers are using. But for software, and software brands are not using this. Once you hit software brands, you say, do you know what, I just want the base tier. They're like, cool, here you go. It's a monthly fee of $10, $20, $50, $100, whatever. Whereas what these guys are doing is they built this system to collect more money from those people. Maybe slightly different, as this is a one-time payment. There's always higher threats with recurring fee offers. But I think that this is a smart play, and I think a lot of software brands could learn from this. And I guess the key lessons here would be, how are you trying to get people onto either higher tiers or to collect more money today? So if they're paying for the monthly fee, what could you offer them to pay for a yearly fee? Because they might churn out after 2 months. So if you can collect 8 months worth of cash for them right now, generally speaking, a yearly fee has much lower churn rates than monthly fees, because there's fewer reminders that, oh, payment's coming up, and by that time these guys should know about the value and they should be so in the tool that they don't want to leave. So first thing, can you build something like this where it's even the next page, hey, why don't you just upgrade for the year? You'll save yourself some money. That's the first lesson. The second one is, how can you increase the actual average order value, so the size of the engagement? Can you sell them more usability of it and say, just upgrade today to that next tier? If you're talking about the first one, about how they can upgrade to yearly payments, there's a couple of things that are quite important here. Let's say this is where the initial payment's made. There's a couple of times that I would then try and get the upgrade to a yearly immediately after this. So basically they come through, they buy this, and it's like, hey, why don't you just pay for the yearly instead? You'll save money. After the onboarding, once they've seen the power of the tool, that's there. It's still very similar. And then this would be the first billing cycle. So after that month, hey, you're coming up to your first rebill. Rebill minus 3 days or something, whatever the billing cycle is. If it's monthly, then, maybe 4, 5, 6 days before that rebill comes out, go, hey, do you know what? You can actually save yourself $80 by upgrading to yearly. Say if you do it now, this will happen. And you might want to send 1 or 2 there just to do this. But then basically what you're doing here is you're capitalizing on the purchase intent here, excitement here, where, they're like, oh, this tool's so cool. And over here, they should have got some results. And then you're like, look, you're getting results. You're seeing how cool the tool is. Why don't you just pay for the year? Save yourself some money. You'll keep using this over the year. So those kind of areas can help turn monthly into yearly payments. But I'm amazed that more software doesn't do this, because software is a difficult game to grow. And most people are not looking at cash collected. They're looking at user numbers and all this. But cash collected, mate, profit in the bank, that's what we want. So focus on how you can get people from 1 to 2 to 3, whether that is, one is the base payment to a higher tier, or from a higher tier to a yearly payment kind of thing. Pabbly seems to do a really good job with it. I like this. If you've enjoyed this, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Doing breakdowns like this, and we chat about these kind of things in Growth Models Plus. There's a link below for you to check that out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Let me know.